Right, so we're going to carry on our World 11 team with right backs. So let's see who gets in that spot. We're going to do our top 5 and then we'll collectively decide on who gets in the team. I really want to hear Andrew's fifth.
Am I going to go first then?
Yeah.
Okay, so in fifth place, I've got Zambrotta of Inter Milan. I found this really difficult, but as a rule, I've only gone with players that I've actually watched or like I've at least seen on TV. So I've left out some big names that were before my time, but that's just how I've done it.
Fair enough. Baron, who's your fifth?
Well, my fifth, obviously, because I have to get my Arsenal players in there, don't I? I went for Lauren.
Fair enough. I did think about him, to be honest.
Undefeated season, probably the only player on the list to ever go a full season undefeated.
So I really like Lauren, but whenever I think of him, I think of that own goal against Man City in that season. Like it's the only thing that comes into my head, where he literally just ran and passed it into his own goal for like no reason. I know that doesn't define a player, but it's just all that comes into my head when I think about Lauren.
Well,
fair enough. I really struggle with right backs because it is the worst. When Carragher said no one wants to be a Gary Neville, he was right. No one wants to be a right back. It is the worst position. My fifth, I went for Kyle Walker.
Oh, do you know what? I did have Reece James in it at one point because, like you say, it was so because it's so difficult, isn't it? And I do rate Reece James, but yeah, I did have Kyle Walker written down as well, and then I started thinking a bit further afield.
Fair enough.
But
Andrew, who's your fourth?
Well, none of my right backs I don't think they've ever played in the Premier League, so it's interesting. Fourth, I've gone with Zagnetti. Again, I thought he was such a good defender. Like he was one of my favourites growing up.
Fair enough. Baron?
At number 4, I went for Zanetti. Yeah.
I haven't got him at all.
Have you not? I'm going to say, I reckon our top 5 are going to be quite similar, aren't they? Because like you say, there's only a handful of names like you think are world-class right backs.
I'm guessing our top 3 are going to all be the same people.
Yeah, probably in different orders, but yeah.
Yeah, possibly. So my fourth was Gary Neville.
I decided he was going nowhere near my team.
Yeah, I did that. I thought about it and then thought, nah, you ain't getting it.
Absolutely not.
Was he most decorated defender in Premier League history?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Defender? I
wouldn't have thought so. I'd have thought there are probably higher. I'd have thought, don't know for definite, that there are better ones. He might be.
As Gary said on last week's episode, winning trophies doesn't necessarily make you a better player. Then,
I mean, you play for the best team in the country for. I think you have to be kind of good to be playing for the best team in the country.
He had a lot of good players in front of him, didn't he? And he played in a decade of when there was only really one team.
You can only beat who's in front of you.
You can only beat who's in front of you.
Well, anyway, Gareth, Andrew, who's your third now? Top 3. Who's your third?
All right, so these could have gone in any order, really. So I went with Dani Alves as third.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. I went for Philip Lahm.
I also went for third place, Philip Lahm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to throw this out here right now before we hear 1 and 2, but Dani Alves is the most decorated football ever.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
And you've put him at number 3 on the right back.
Trophies doesn't make you technically a better player. It just means
it helps, doesn't it? It helps, doesn't it? You wouldn't be in the best team in the world, would you, if you weren't very good?
True. All these trophies don't make a player. It kind of does when you win a multiple every single season. It's not just like Anderson is a Champions League guy. So he won a Champions League. Anderson shouldn't be winning a Champions League. Not a great player. Dani Alves has won all these titles.
How many Premier Leagues did Wes Brown win?
Well, Wes Brown ain't on anyone's list though for anything.
No, I know, but I mean, he was more of a centre back than a right back. But I'm just saying, like, no one's going to have him, are they?
No, these are all world.
I'm just saying.
Players, so it's like they've all.
Dani Alves is the highest decorated footballer in world football, and you've got him at number 3 in your right back list.
Yeah, I'm going off by what I've seen from player
Okay.
performance, not by the
All right.
trophies they've won.
Okay.
Who have you got second then?
Second, I've got Cafu. That's number 2.
Bill, you look like you got something to say.
We'll carry on. Baron, who have you got second?
Well, I have actually Danny Alves second.
Yeah, me too.
I know I said all that business about him being the most well-decorated football in the world, but I have actually got Danny Alves as second.
So me and Baron have got the same
So you both got Cafu as
first
number
because
1.
100. There is no better right back.
Have you got Philip
I've
Lahm as
got
your number
Philip
1
Lahm,
right back?
Yeah. I went based off of the players I've seen, and I barely saw any of Cafu. I did see a bit of him towards the end of his career, but I went solely off of players. I left out Carlos Alberto because I'd never seen him play, and I know he's supposed to be like.
Yeah, I did
right
that
back.
to be fair as well.
I've just gone on the players that I've seen. I think there was a better way to do it. So yeah, I went with Philip Lahm as number 1.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, Cafu for me.
I mean,
as soon as we said right back, Cafu was already in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to throw it out there. They're not as bad as I thought you said. Like, before we started recording, Andrew said that he can't wait for everyone to take the mick out of him. He's right, but I was expecting him to have, like, you know, Carl Walker, Gary Neville, Carl Walker-Peters. I was expecting, like, you know, Ben White. I was expecting them sort of players, you know. Yeah, he's come out with some good ones.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to go for like players that are playing like now. Most of these are from what I remember, but it looks like Cafu's going to get in overall. Then, if you both had him as your number 1.
Oh well, I think I mean, we've talked about it when he was a massive attacking right back. He was Brazil's right back for God knows how many years.
Can I just? What was Philip Lahm the first fullback to come into midfield? Was he the first one to do when he did that?
I don't know. I mean, Pep sort of
that was before Pep, wasn't
sort of made him into a holding midfielder because he did finish his career as a bit of a holding midfielder. Pep sort of made him into that because he tried it, didn't he, with Zabaleta at Man City, and it massively backfired and failed miserably. But I mean, when you're looking at Zabaleta and Philip Lahm,
Zabaleta was still that old generation, the Gary Neville generation, where it's just right back is right back, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Philip Lahm, he's in there obviously because he plays multiple positions for me. You know, I think he did win the World Cup as well with Germany that year. I think he was there right back. Like I said, I could have easily put Danny Alves top because of what I think he's won 39 trophies, is it? I mean, I
think all 3 of these could have gone in any order for me. Like I was there debating the order for ages, and in the end, I decided to go with I'll go with who I've seen sort of more of and stuff. It was hard to pick.
My top 3 are done in like a couple of seconds, but then the last 2, because there's just no good right backs really, apart from those 3.
I've debated about putting Emmanuel Boué in.
No, you didn't. Did you?
No, I did. Honestly,
coming out.
He was a left back when I think. Lauren was probably. I basically got my 4, and I just had to decide what 4 I wanted them in, and then I picked Lauren because I just thought I didn't know really. I couldn't think of another right back to go with, and I thought, Joe, what he was part of the Invincibles, and that's got to be worth a mention.
Yeah, no, that's a valid thing. But so Cafu is our right back.
We are going for Cafu as.
Yeah.
So far, Pete Schmeichel in goal and Cafu at right back. Not a bad start.
This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion. I got tons of soul on my true collective ball. Famous, also famous, number 1 desirable.